Good evening and welcome. This is HIPAA, the privacy rule, a presentation for MHA 628, Managed Care and Contractual Services. My name is Naomi Johnson-Effinger. Our instructor is Dr. Chantel Jones. This is July 19, 2018. For this discussion, of course, I've chosen HIPAA, the privacy rule. The law was established in 1996 and was signed into being by our then President, Clinton. The privacy rule. The standards of privacy of individually identifiable health information, or privacy rule, established for the very first time a set of standards for the protection of specific health information on a national level. This standard, called the Privacy Rule, was designed to meet the requirements of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, otherwise known as HIPAA. The Privacy Rule addresses how we use and disclose the health information of every individual. This information is called protected health information to organizations and agencies that are subject to the rule. The organizations affected by this rule are called covered entities. It also addresses the standards for individuals' privacy rights. It discloses that the individual has the right to understand how their health information is being utilized and to control how it's utilized. So what is the privacy rule? The privacy rule addresses how we use and disclose that health information on every individual. This information is called protected health information to organizations and agencies that are subject to that rule, and the covered entities must address the standards of individuals' privacy. It's a law that's designed to protect individual personal health information. It's a law that is designed to restrict every health care providers from disclosing PHI and PI without the individual's approval, and it's vital that the health providers maintain compliance with this law. This is how they build trust within their organization. So who enforces HIPAA? The Office of Civil Rights, with respect to voluntary compliance and imposing civil money penalties, has that responsibility, the responsibility for implementing the privacy rule and for its enforcement. And this is done through the Department of Health and Human Services. The use and disclosure of patient information from the past, from the present, or from future acquisitions, and regarding the physical or mental health information of that individual, it is all protected under this law. One major goal of the privacy rule is that of making sure that the health information of that individual is protected, but allowing for the necessary flow of information between associates and providers. It's also used to promote the provision of a higher quality of health care. It's also designed to protect the health and well-being of the public. While protecting the privacy of the patient information is the main objective of HIPAA, it is purposed to provide for the electronic and physical security of that patient information, or PHI, as well. It requires that we observe the minimum necessary rule for the use and disclosure of patient information. This rule also assures the patient that he has the right to approve the access to his information and the use of that information as well. Balancing the protection and privacy of individuals is a very tricky and delicate thing. The privacy rule balances the use of information for important instances, but it also protects the privacy of the people who are seeking care and healing. Our healthcare marketplace, as we know, is diverse. Given that fact, we should remember that the privacy rule is designed to be a flexible one, but it's also a comprehensive one. It's designed to cover the various uses of PHI and any disclosures that should be addressed surrounding its use. What's the impact? HIPAA and the privacy rule impacts the individual, the employer, and payers in a variety of ways. Since it was designed or signed into law in 1996 by Congress, it has in one of the provisions of the Act been instrumental in severely restricting the ability of healthcare organizations to share patient information. The primary goal is that of simplifying healthcare systems. Under Title IV, it's a safeguard to protecting individuals and their medical information. It does present challenges for healthcare organizations in particular. When working with patient health information, those organizations must comply with the HIPAA guidelines and regulations. For the healthcare organization, compliance with the privacy rule can be very tricky. In this next slide, we will address some of the organizational challenges. It does present challenges for healthcare organizations when working with patient healthcare information. For that healthcare organization, compliance with the privacy rule, again, is tricky. They are advised up front to get an experienced law firm to guide them. And if they do, they will see the benefits of being in compliance. The privacy rule has been able to save providers an estimated $9 billion annually. HIPAA has positive benefits just as it has negative ones. Healthcare organizations have been seeing several of these positive benefits, as we've stated. The HIPAA privacy rule has been instrumental in developing an environment or culture of compliance within our healthcare organizations. In the dynamic culture of healthcare, compliance is everything. Because we need privacy and confidentiality in sharing our health information, the privacy rule has enabled the development of better security systems inside the organizations. That means that security has to improve in a physical and an electronic method in the organization if the organization is going to be compliant with the privacy rule ultimately. Sharing electronic files between organizations has been another one of the benefits of HIPAA. When a patient gives his permission, providers can share the records among other providers in an instant. This lowers the possibility of paper being lost or paper being viewed by those without permission to view them. In the past, we have had few standards concerning how medical records were stored. Today, we have national standards governing how medical records are stored, how we can share them, regarding governing patient confidentiality and healthcare information, thanks to HIPAA, thanks to the HIPAA laws. This is the list of references for this short presentation. I certainly hope you've been able to glean some information and to find some use for this information. I want to thank each of you for listening and being a vital part of this presentation. Have a good evening.